Welcome back to 1111 with Chaga Tea. I'm Fiona Barrett, and we have an extra special guest today who just flew in from location in Cambodia, and we're very excited to introduce her. Just to put that into some context, in Beautiful Food Coaching Circle, we are exploring the movie and the book called Half the Sky right now. And if you're not familiar with that, the concept is about women can heal the planet, and it's all about women supporting other women. And our special guest today is a great example of someone who actually went out into where the action is, on location, immersed herself into a situation, and she's going to share with us what she did and how she did that. So welcome to the show, and I'm going to hand over to Roberta.
Yes, good morning. Thank you. I'm Roberta Chagas, and I'm very happy to be introducing my dear friend Gabi Yetter, who I met in the community many years ago when we both were working in Boston, and we've been working in the community ever since, and then it led to a friendship that we are just happy to have, even though she is in Cambodia. So Gabi, tell me a little bit about how you could leave this beautiful area to move out to Cambodia.
Well, that's a good question. It wasn't necessarily about leaving this beautiful area, because we were very happy here and we had a wonderful life. But Skip and I, my husband, went to Thailand for our honeymoon 7 years ago and very much fell in love with Southeast Asia and the lifestyle that Southeast Asia presented to us. And we just felt like we wanted a little more in our lives. Even though we had so much here, we felt that it was not exactly everything that we wanted. So we sold our house, bought a one-way ticket, went to Cambodia and signed up with a volunteer organization. And we've been living there now 2.5 years, volunteering for NGOs, non-governmental organizations, where we both do English resource work with the community, do writing projects, and feel that we've enriched our lives so much by going to a place that has very, very little compared to what we have here. But we feel that we have so much more in our lives by going to another part of the world.
And what do you feel is some of the most enriching things, just for somebody who might be watching this and might be thinking of doing something similar? Like, how do you feel that's enriched your lives?
I think it's enriched our lives because we've learned how to do with nothing. Getting rid of possessions was incredibly liberating and made us feel wonderful at not having stuff to carry around with us anymore, because we didn't want to have stuff. Now we really limit what we buy, what we do, where we go. We really feel like our lives are more enriched because of the people that we spend time with. We feel that it's more enriched because of the communities that we're now a part of, that feel like they have so much more meaning than here. We had, as I say, we had a wonderful life, but it was about going to work, going out for dinner, spending time with friends. And there, even though we have some of that, it's also living in a community amongst people who have nothing. And we are so humbled constantly in learning from people who have nothing, as opposed to being in communities where people have so much and take so much for granted. That people don't take life for granted. Life is very cheap. And communities really are incredibly bonded because there are no social services, there is no help amongst the community in Cambodia. Everybody is a very tightly knit family group, and everyone works together and helping one another. And we feel drawn into that because it's the spirituality and it's the gentleness and the care of people who have nothing that we just learn so much more from. And that's really what enriches our lives by being there.
That's great.
And Gabi, I know that there's a book coming out very soon, and I think it's all about desserts on one end, and also how people might be able to do what you've done, and how they might do the trip to Cambodia.
Yeah, there's actually 2 books that are coming out this month. I'm very fortunate that they're both coming out at around the same time, because one of the things I do is I'm a freelance writer, so I've spent the last 2 years building up a community of writing and writing for publications and online sites there, as well as doing volunteer work. The 2 books, one of them is called The Sweet Tastes of Cambodia. It's about traditional desserts, And for that I was hired by an NGO. We traveled around the country together. We went into people's homes. We walked in mud fields with buffaloes roaming all around us. We got caught in tornado rains. We experienced being in parts of the country that nobody would see, quite honestly. And in doing so, we learned about Cambodian desserts and traditional recipes and how they're made and how they're handed down through the communities. So that's the first book, which is coming out. Yeah, yeah, it was amazing to write. We traveled around in a minivan for 6 weeks, seeing all of Cambodia that was very unknown to most people. So that's a hard copy book, which is coming out this month. And the second one is an ebook called Moving to Cambodia, which was published by a publisher called Wandering Educators in the United States. And that's basically dealing with everything on how to move there, how to get visas, how to find out about work permits, how to find out about communities, about schools, about entertainment, places to go, trips to take, and it's really an overall picture of Cambodia. So that's the second one.
That is fabulous.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Really. And if we have an audience out there that is from Cambodia, perhaps you'd like to say something to them in the natural, the language,
The native tongue.
The native tongue.
Susre, Soksabai, Knyom Chimo Gabi, Rekriye da Banchup Neak.
Ooh. And do they drink chaga tea in Cambodia?
No. At least not that I'm aware of, but maybe they will
take some
now.
back.
Maybe we will.
Toast.
Cheers.
All right. Thank you so much, really, Gabby. It was a pleasure. Always delightful to see you.
Thank you.
Better to see you in person than on Skype. but
Absolutely.
Let's
Yes.
make sure that we Skype each other. So thank you
And
so
thank you
much.
for being such an inspiration. It's so great to... You hear of people doing these things, but it's great to actually sit next to someone and see and feel what it's like.
Exactly.
And congratulations for taking that step and
Thank you.
making the trip.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome.
That's sweet of
Very
you.
inspiring.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Jolmoy.
Chamoy. There we go.
Can't wait to read your books.
Well, thank you.
Especially the one on desserts.
Oh yeah, you'll learn a lot of interesting recipes.
I know.
Very interesting recipes. Things that you may not have any idea how to create.
And isn't that great that when you do get to go beyond the tourist destinations, you actually get to see a whole different
Oh yeah.
feel for the country and the culture?
Absolutely, and I've done that with the NGOs. You know, we go and talk to people sitting on grass mats, and cows walking around us while we're sitting in the fields, and that's
Yeah.
my boardroom
That's
these
real
days.
life.
Yeah.
So there. That's great.